Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. Alright everybody, and welcome to my August TBR. Yes, we have arrived at that time already. First off, I'm super self-conscious about my cold sore right now, so sorry if you see me like feeling weird about it, but it's almost healed. But it's like with a lot of scabs, whenever they're about to heal is when they look the worst. So being someone who has to stare at themselves while they film, it is a bit self-conscious for me, even though it's like, it's not like I feel bad about it in normal life or that I'm worried you guys are judging me. It's one of those things where like when I have to stare at it, all I do is zoom in right on it on my face. So I'm gonna try to, I might not be looking at the camera even more than usual because it bothers me to look at myself. But anyway, let's get on to August. We, as always, have a very hefty list of books I'm reading ARCs for or our new releases. We also are revisiting some favorites, and we have 2 book club picks to talk about. So let's dive right in. First off, I don't want to waste any time telling you about one of the books for the Rake Appreciation Society book club. Yes, I still don't have an exact date for that, but Big Sis and I, aka Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life, we should be picking a date very soon, so make sure you're following us on Instagram and our YouTube community pages, because I'm sure we'll announce it there. We just, as we've said, we brought back the Rake Appreciation Society to not be a stressor. So if that means that, you know, we don't pick the date until about 2 weeks beforehand, so be it. But that means that I really want to get both of the books read so that I'm ready to go whenever Crystal's ready to go. So yeah, sorry this is a little unorthodox. We'll see how it goes, but this is just what kind of works for our schedules this year, and we just kind of gotta roll with the punches, right? We just kind of got to roll with it that way. But I already read Tempted by His Kiss by Tracy and Warren. So that was the first one. So that one is available on audio. I was able to get it during the Audible sale for only a couple bucks, but it is available. You'll be able to listen to it. The second book, The Duke Who Didn't by Courtney Milan, which is crazy. She actually has the 3rd book of that is coming out in August. I don't have that on my TBR because you'll see my TBR is big enough. But it's funny that we took so long to get around to this one. The 3rd one's actually coming out. And the cover, y'all, the cover for book 3 it's so beautiful. I love the covers of these books. They just make me so happy. But anyway, The Duke Who Didn't by Courtney Milan is one of our picks as well. So those are the 2 books you want to read. You want to be caught up on those. And once we have an exact date for it, we will share it with you guys. And yeah, we'll get that out there to you. The other book club is, of course, the Outlander read-along that I'm doing, and I've been giving us about 8 weeks to do each of these, so I wanted to get this announcement out there. We just had the live show for Drums of Autumn. That's available on my channel. It's on my Outlander playlist, as well as you'll find it if you go to my page. So we have done the first 4 books, which is awesome. We are at the book that is our tipping point into the second half, but we are far from over, that's for sure. This book club will definitely go well into 2025. So that means you do have time to catch up to us at any point. Don't feel like you're so far behind you can't get caught up. The Discord, which I always have the link to down below, has all of the discussions we've been having for the previous books. So you are welcome to jump in at any time and be able to chat in there. Like, I still check the Discord daily. So if you start reading Outlander and you want someone to chat with, I'll be there with you. Some of our other ladies will be there with you. And then you can watch our live shows as you go, and you could be caught up by this one. Because we're actually not having the live show for this book until September 14th at 5 p.m. Central Time is when we'll have the live chat for that. I've binged these books in a month before, you know, or you can jump in wherever. Maybe you've read the first 2 books but never continued. I have a couple viewers who, like, the 3rd book was the last one that they had read and then they hadn't continued. So, you know, you can jump in wherever you want to. So there we go. The book club for that will be September 14th. So I'll mention this again in my September TBR. But I do want to get a start on this one because it is so big. I mean, they're all so big, but this one, we're pushing 1,000 pages with this one. Yeah, it's 979 is what my big floppy one is. I know that the paperback one, or the mass market one, is like 1,100 pages or so. So I don't want to wait till the last minute with this. I'll probably get started early. Okay, then we of course have the Patreon books, and the Patreon book pick for August is Read My Lips. I forgot to write down the author's name, but here is the picture of it. And Read My Lips, I believe, is supposed to be like an assassin type one, I think. I can't fully remember. But this was picked for the trope of forced proximity because that was the trope that came out of my trope jar. So I have a Patreon, just in case you didn't know, if I haven't talked about it enough. That is what helps me be sustainable as a full-time YouTuber. Yes, this is my full-time job. I review books and talk about them online, which is just wild every time I get to say it. And one of the perks on my Patreon is that everyone votes on a book and I do an exclusive review for Patreon that only they get to see. I try to only talk about that book on Patreon unless it's a 6-star book like Unsteady or Heartless, which were 6-star reads, and eventually I talk about them on my channel. But the other ones, I really try to only keep my thoughts on Patreon. And you are able to follow my Patreon even if you aren't a paying member. I do still put announcements and early access to things as a public option on my Patreon. So I have about 250 people that follow my Patreon, whereas about half of those people are paying members. So you can definitely follow me for free. There are also free trials where you can have a week free of having access to everything and decide if you want to continue. So just a little plug for that. I try not to do it constantly, but I do have to plug the business now and then because it keeps me going. So definitely check out my Patreon if you've been loving what I do here, because there's even more that happens on Patreon for sure. But Read My Lips is the book that I'll be doing for August. The one I just did, which I actually have right here because I'm going to film this review for Patreon after this, is I just read Two Wrongs, and the choice for July was X's dad. So I read a ex-boyfriend's dad, and whoa, do I have some stuff to say about this one when I film that review next. So there's that. Other books I'll be reading for Patreon. One of my Patreon tiers is for some lucky people who are on that tier level. I annotate a book specifically for them. So a few of them that I have this month are, I'm going to be rereading Viper and annotating it. Embers by Claire Kent. Love this one. I've already read and annotated P.S. You're Intolerable. That is The Garbage Man. And What You See by Cherise Sinclair. There also is, of course, the obligatory Rena Kent ones that people are having me annotate before her covers go out of availability. That's the word. But I didn't grab those again because I show those literally every single month. There have been people reading those ones, but those are some that I will be annotating for people there. Okay, so starting off, we have Dark Restraint by Katie Robert. Now, I've said this so many times that I was ready to give up on this series. So what am I doing reading this one? Well, this one is Ariadne and the Minotaur. And I didn't read the last one. I ended up like DNFing. There's too much going on. I didn't like that one. But this one is Ariadne and the Minotaur. And if you've been reading the series, even if you've read a few, you know, I think if you've read through the first 4, you really are curious about the Minotaur and how this could work out. Katie Roberts' Dark Olympus series by now is a very confusing knot of everything. There are so many characters and characters' names change and like there's so much going on that it's so hard to follow. But I got offered this arc and I couldn't say no to it. I'm hoping the audio arc will pop up on NetGalley because usually the audio has popped up a few days before release the last couple times and I've been able to get it. So I'm going to try to get it for this one too. But Dark Restraint comes out on the 6th, so I do want to get to that soon and I'm going to try it. I might regret it and I have low expectations, so maybe that will serve me well. We'll see. Then, and I really want to start this book soon, maybe even today, I don't know, we'll see. But I was so blessed to receive a physical arc of Gilded Wicked Mirrors by Hazel St. Louis. This was sent to me by the Nerd Fam, who they have just absolutely blessed me this year. I've gotten some great books from them. And so yeah, they sent me that and they sent it along. Do I still have the pictures here? Where did I put the pictures? Those might be in my stack of other stuff, but here's the bookmark of this. Isn't that pretty? They always provide this beautiful bookmark with their books that's this like soft to touch. This is fabulous. Where did I put the pictures? I'm like sad now. But I'm really excited looking inside. There's these like newspaper pages in here. Seriously, where did I put it? Well, it ended up in here somewhere. We're not sure. Oh, I found it. I have to show you because they're just so beautiful. Okay, they also sent me this art piece, which says, it's hard to read, "The kings I know would rattle your bones and rip apart your heart." So it's this like mirror, gorgeous. And then there was also this print of them, gorgeous. And look at the like, it has like peacock feathers and stuff. And it says this: "If you wanted to touch me, all you had to do is ask. It was the voice of the devil." All at once, Quinn was relieved and horrified because not only was it Emery's Avalon, which was both good news and bad news, but once again, he was touching her in ways she enjoyed, and that was horrifying. Ooh. So yeah, this comes out on the 6th, and the Nerd Fam, I've said this, they are a PR company that does a lot of PR, like, packages for authors. Like, they will plan them out and get them out to influencers. They don't usually do like arcs though. They usually will send out like regular copies. Like, they're the ones who sent me the L.J. Andrews that I read this month, which was fantastic. But yeah, this one comes out on August 6th and it'll be on Kindle Unlimited. And it says that this one is a mix of Crescent City's investigations. So, you know, kind of it says a dark whimsical CSI with mixed with Caraval. And there are enemies to lovers and deadly bargains. Though it is a steam level is mild for this one, the sequels will get spicier. So yeah, that's awesome. So thank you so much to NerdFam for sending me that. And like I said, I want to get to this one pretty soon, because when they send me a physical ARC, not just a finished copy, I really want to make sure that I read it to, you know, honor the fact that an author paid a lot of money to send this to me. Sorry, I don't mean to turn this into a thing, but that's one of the things is like, I don't promise to like a book or promise to say nice things about it when they send me a copy, but I do really want to try to get to it when they send me one, you know? So you'll see more of that later in this too. So anyway, there's those. Okay, then we have one that I don't have an ARC for, but I plan to get the audiobook and read it. I'm going to slide this forward so I can lean back a little. I'm feeling a little lazy today. This TBR is, usually I'm done with this video by now and I'm just all over the place. So there's Rally by Devney Perry. This is a part of her Wildcat like football series or whatever. There's Coach and Blitz so far, and I've loved both of those. In fact, Blitzed, as I've said, is probably my favorite Devney Perry that I've read. So very excited for Rally. I believe this one is, oh shoot, I don't remember now. Is this the one where it's like the physical therapist? I don't know. During my TBRs, I don't usually go into what the books are about. I'm just telling you what I'm going to read. But either way, I'm going to read it as soon as it comes out. I don't have an ARC for this one. I don't care. I want to read it right away. Also on the 8th, which is when Rally comes out, there's Northern Twilight by Samantha Young. This will be book 5 in her Scottish Highland series. I've only read book 4, which I received an ALC of from Must Love Audio. And I did sign up for an ALC of this one. So, and I think we're supposed to be getting that one soon. And it will have Shane East, and I think it's Zara Hampton Brown is the other narrator. Not sure, but I know I'll love it. I really liked the last one for that being my first Samantha Young. And of course I love Shane East. Anytime Shane East is going to croon in my ear, I am all about it, especially in Scottish, especially when he's Scottish. Like, I'm done. And then Twisted Truth by P. Rain, and this will be the 4th and final book in the Midnight Manor series, which is about 4 brothers, their fairy tale retellings. I believe they said this one's Little Mermaid. I think that's what was on their site. So this one, I've also been doing the audios with Valentine PR for these. and I've been liking them quite a bit. They've been all solid 4 stars, right? They're pretty quick books, which I like that. Like the audios are usually only like 6 to 7 hours, which means I can listen to them in like 3. That's prime Audible length for me. And they've been these brothers who are all damaged boys and then fairy tale retellings, right? They were Beauty and the Beast, Rapunzel, and Cinderella have been the retellings. And then it's going to be Little Mermaid, I think. It'll be great. All right, then there is Where There's a Will by Ember Hughes. Now, I didn't know when I signed up for this, which is awesome. I love that I had no idea. I just thought this was going to be a dark cowboy romance, right? With the cover, looks great. And the tropes for it said, who hurt you, second chance romance, woman on the run. Like, that's what it said. And then just a couple days after I signed up for it, I discovered that this is going to be the dark romance pen name for Daisy Jane. So yeah, this is Daisy Jane who has, and this is known, like she's shared that it's her, so I'm not outing anyone. But I didn't know that when I signed up for it on the author agency's website. I had no idea, and that just made me even more excited. So Daisy Jane, some of her books have darker things in it, and I do actually have some Daisy Jane later on in this video, because I'm working through her backlist. But generally they're lighter, even though they're heavy on kink. Like she writes kind of everyday kink, like bringing kink into more contemporary settings. She writes a lot of everyday Joes and everything. So yeah, very intrigued by this one. And I signed up for an arc of that. Then we have The Bonus by T.L. Swan. Okay, so again, another little story about this one. I've said I'm pretty much done reading new releases from T.L. Swan. I just haven't had luck with really any book since the takeover. I haven't enjoyed. I didn't like the other 2 books in Mile High. I mean, book 3 was okay. Casanova was okay. Didn't care for the last one in that series. Didn't care for the books that have been in her other series. It just hasn't been working, and that breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that they haven't been, you know, but the takeover was a special thing. Now, The Bonus, there's a couple reasons why I still did want to try The Bonus, but I was just going to wait till it was out, okay? I was just going to wait till the book was out because I wasn't sure if I would like it, right? But 2 things happened. One, T.L. Swan has started her own publishing company, and there was someone from that publishing company actually reached out and asked me if I wanted a physical arc of this, and the book is really pretty. Okay, it's pink, and it's going to be beautiful, and they were going to send me one, and I was like, oh, I've wanted to get arcs from T.L. Swan for so long, and I'm not going to say no. So I said yes to it. And then I was also sent an e-arc to read it ahead of time. So, because this comes out on the 14th. So I do have it. It's also finally the one about Gabriel. Is it Gabriel? And like we've seen a peek at them before, of him before. Like he's actually friends with some characters in other books. He's mentioned in the takeover as someone that Claire, like he wants to help Claire out when it happens. So he's someone I've been wanting to read. Now, I have seen the tropes of this one now, and I'm a bit nervous because I'm pretty sure it's a secret pregnancy and there's some stuff that gets hidden. So I'm real nervous. But again, for this being an author who's written one of my favorite books of all time, I do actually have pretty low expectations for new releases from her anyway. So my hopes also aren't that high, you know? So yeah. But anyway, I am going to read The Bonus, and I'll let you guys know what I think, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, then we have Born for Silk by Nikki Harris. Now, I don't know if I'll be getting an arc for this, because I thought I was on Nikki Harris's arc team, but then the last book I didn't get an arc from her. But I want to read this. It's an apocalyptic story where that has a bit of The Handmaid's Tale, they said, where like the women are supposed to be for breeding, that type of stuff. You know, that always gets me really excited. And I also love survival type stories like that, so we'll see. But I do want to try to read that whether I get an arc of it or not. I still am really interested because she's been talking about this book, hinting at it for ages. And the fact that it was set for August 15th to come out, I was like, oh my God, are you serious? It was so far away. But I hope that means it's good. I hope she's really worked on it and it's fantastic. Okay, then we have Between Fear and Favor. I really hope that this will be able to come out then. You know, Jess has already pushed this book a couple times. I know, it's a very hard book to write. There's so many expectations on this book, it being the third one in the Divine Between series, coming after Between Wrath and Mercy and between Despair and Hope. Sorry, forgot it. Between Fear and Favor is coming. I'm on her arc team, so I will be getting an arc of that one, I believe, anyway. But it was supposed to come out July 15th, and she moved it 1 month, which, you know, that's the only amount that Amazon lets you move it before they make you cancel all your pre-orders. So hopefully it's ready. All right, then we have Restoration by Noelle Adams. This is one that I've been waiting on. This is one she had to move around. Noelle Adams, aka Claire Kent, she did actually have a loss in her family recently. And so she did end up, well, this book actually was already pushed because it was supposed to come out before any of that happened. But then she had a loss in her family, and we weren't sure if this release date was still going to happen, but it did. So this one is going to be a shipwreck story, and it's a part of the Worthington series, which is that wealthy family that there's been one with amnesia, there was one with a bodyguard romance, and this one is going to be this one also, I believe, is a bodyguard, but it's like a shipwrecked one, I believe. Either way, super excited. I love how Claire Kent has written survival before, so I'm sure I'll like this. Okay, then we have one that I have no idea what it's about. I signed up for it with the author agency, and I don't remember what it's about. I just know that I'm getting an arc for it, and that is It Was Always You by Shannon Jade. This is one of those where it's a new to me author, and I want to try them. So that's all I know. That's all I need to know, and I hope it's a winner, right? I've been doing that a lot this month, or this year, and it's been really great. You know, I don't know if you guys saw the video I did, which was the Smash or Pass with 40 new to me authors that I did, and I loved making that video, and I found so many great new to me authors by just signing up for authors that were either debut authors or I had never read them before. All right, then there is How to Fall for a Scoundrel by Kate Bateman. This is the next one in, I don't even remember the series name, but this is the next one. What was the first one? Was a Duke, and this one says Scoundrel, but I love Kate Bateman. I read all of her new releases. I'm on her like auto approve arc team, so I'll be reading it. I hope that I get to quite a few historicals this month. My historical game has been severely lacking. I'm very disappointed in that. All right, and then we have my most anticipated book of the year. We have A Heart of Frost and Scars by Pam Godwin. Pam made us wait for this, y'all. She made us wait for this, y'all. We got a book in March, and we got a book in April, and then it wasn't until August. Okay, the cliffhanger we were left on with Frankie and the boys, 2 of her rugged mountain men, 1 being her husband, who she's still married to, and so many secrets that were left behind for them. So this one is a reverse harem. It sadly did not become a poly romance the way I wanted it to be, and it doesn't look like it will, but that's okay. That's okay. I am very intrigued to see what she's going to do. If anyone's allowed to write me a reverse harem or a why choose, it's Pam Godwin. Okay, I trust her. I trust her to do it, and I'm terrified what this book is going to be. Absolutely terrified, but I can't wait at the same time. All right, then there's Sinful Sacrifice by Charity Farrell. This is another one that I have heard of Charity Farrell for years, and I don't believe I've actually read any of hers. I might have read her in an anthology, but I can't remember if I did. But yeah, this one I signed up for. Look at this cover. It's so hot. I'm going for it. I believe this is a mafia. I mean, it looks like it's a mafia, isn't it? I believe it's a mafia, and that's why I signed up for it. But I don't know. Whatever. Then we have The Heartbreaker by Sarah Kate. This will be the 3rd book in the Good Brothers series. I actually recently was just approved to be on Sarah Kate's ALC team. I've always been on her ARC team, but she's starting a separate ALC team. So I was actually gifted the anti-hero so that I could listen to that one and kind of like hype it up. So I'm actually rereading the anti-hero via audio, and it is duet narration with not Joseph Morgan. I wish. Jacob Morgan. Joseph Morgan played Klaus on The Vampire Diaries, in case you are confused. I would love if he narrated audiobooks for me. That'd be amazing. but it was with Jacob Morgan and a narrator that a female narrator that I didn't know, but it is duet narration, and I'm loving it. The Heartbreaker is, we just got the cover reveal for this one, so I'm sure I'm holding that or showing that right now. And this one is Luke. Is it Luke's book? I know he starts with an L. It's Luke's book. And this one is going to be a not his baby, but it's a surprise pregnancy, not his baby. It is going to be a brat and a brat tamer. It says lots of spankings. And I'm excited, man. I love Sarah Kate's books. I am never disappointed in her story. Like, honestly, I'm so rarely disappointed in her books. The History Between Us by Ashley James. This will be a new to me author, but this one is also a cowboy romance, and it is MM. And I think this is X's dad, and it's an MM. I can't remember. But I know it's an age gap cowboy MM romance. I can't remember the particulars, but I signed up for this one because of what the tropes were. There was no cover yet revealed for that one. I don't know if it's out yet. Anyway, I don't know if it is, but I'm reading it. I can't wait. And then one of my other very anticipated books comes way at the end of the month. Haven't had any more info on this one. There hasn't been an ARC sign up. There's no cover yet, but I'm hoping it's going to be good to go from the teases that Lana has given us. But there will be The Trial of Dusk and Dreams by Lana Perchik. I can't say her name. We know it. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. We love her. Even when I've seen how to pronounce it, I can't pronounce it, so I'm sorry. But this will be book 2 in her why choose that she has. Look at me reading all the why choose, because I do have another one to talk about too. But yeah, this one had quite the cliffhanger. It was mean, the cliffhanger that they put me on. Oh my god, it was so mean. But I can't wait to read this. I really can't. This is a spin-off of the Fae Guardian series, and it's the Slua, the season of the Slua, and the Slua are fascinating. Okay, there are 6 in one, and it's wild. It's wild. So yeah, then there's another book that I believe the release date is like the 24th, or it's in the 20s of it, and I only recently started this series, and now I need to know how it ends. I started the Brutes of Brooke by Rebecca Quinn. Book 1 was actually in my 12 Recs for 12 Friends. It was recommended to me by Lorena, and I've read it. I read it just the other day, and this is a why choose apocalyptic romance. There are 5 soldiers and a woman who's a librarian, and she's been living on her own, and then there are these men who start chasing her, and she basically runs into the arms of a couple of these soldiers who have their own kind of hideaway, and they bring her back with the promise that if she stays with them, she has to be with all of them. She can't pick favorites. She can't be with just one. She has to be with all of them. And she agrees to do that, and then a bunch of stuff happens. So I'm reading the second book right now, okay? And if I like it, I'll read the third one. Now, I liked the first one, but a lot of stuff happened at the end, and I'm halfway through the second book, and I am banging my head against the wall, okay? I'm so frustrated with all the characters, and honestly, I'm like, this is all the things I hate about a why choose. Like, it started out so good. There was so much I loved, and now I'm in the second one, and I know it's the midpoint. Like, it's supposed to be frustrating. There's still one more book to come. But I'm quickly losing my love for all the characters, so I don't know. Sorry, that was a mini review in the middle of this here. But I have Entwined, I think it'll be. It's either Entwined or Entangled. It's Ensnared, Entwined, Entangled are the 3 books. I don't know which is which, but we'll see. Like, honestly, if I am so frustrated by the end of this one, if I don't get a hint at what could be good, I'm not going to read the last one. Like, literally, this is what I hate about why choose romances, and I only like to read why choose if they give me what I want them to, and this one's not at all giving me what I want, so I don't know. I don't know. But it's on here just in case. Maybe I won't be able to help myself, because that's the thing, too. The author could very well be fucking this all up so that we have to read the third book, right? That's what they do. That's what happens. Okay, so as I said, that is all of the, like, soon to come out books. Now I have a few that round out my TBR that I will hopefully be getting to. So as I said, I have some books that authors have sent me that I try to get to. And one of them is I want to catch up on the Fate Cycle series by Sam Fairburn. So the first book in this series is called let me see, it's right over there. Potion Master is the first one, and it's like 3 like witchy type people together, actually. So this one is an MMF. It's MMF. It's all loving everyone. And Necromancer is book 2, and then the third one is the death. What's the third book? I actually have it, which is why like I'm a bit behind. Is it over here? It is. It is Healer. Healer is the third one. So I'm behind on these. And Sam so kindly sends me these and has annotated them for me, because when she first sent me the first one, what I ask is if authors send me a physical copy, and it's one that they like have in their possession. It's not one that they're sending direct from Amazon. I ask them to highlight one of their favorite lines. I've been doing that the last couple of years, and it has been so great to see what authors' favorite lines are. I love it. And Sam goes overboard and actually annotates the book for me. So I'm getting to read it I'm getting to read an annotated book by the author. So I very much want to catch up. So I want to read Necromancer and then maybe go on to Healer if I can. I want to be caught up. But I definitely want to honor this author, because by the time October comes around, which is coming quickly, I want to be able to recommend this series as a good spooky series for people to read, because this author, I really like what she's doing with these. And so I really want to get caught up and pump these up, because no one else is talking about them. No one else is. And so I'm taking it on. And if I like it, I will. If I don't, I won't. But if I like it, I will. Okay, then I want to read Consumed by Daisy Jane. This is a light daddy kink story. The first one was Unexpected, and this one is Consumed. So these are actually ones I had to buy from her website. They're not on ebook anymore, and she only has stock in her store currently. So when she had a sale last, I bought copies of these because I want to read her backlist, and this is literally the only way I can. So this one will pick up where the last one left off, and this is a taboo duet. Like I said, it's a big age gap. He used to be married to her mom, even though it was kind of a platonic marriage. It's a whole thing. You have to read it. And her mom dies in the beginning of book 1. And so when she comes to town to kind of deal with her mother's effects, she has nobody now. Like, she literally has no one in her life. And he ends up kind of taking her under his wing. What's his name? Tor is his name. Salvatore, I think it is. And her name is Gia. So I really like the first one. It's really hot. It was actually kind of a slow burn for a Daisy Jane, which I really liked. So I want to continue this series. Then I need to reread The Frontrunner by Elsie Silver, because in my last annotated book pre-order, somebody picked The Frontrunner. So I need to annotate a copy of this one. All the other ones in the pre-order I've already annotated and read, so I don't have to reread them. This one I do. So this ended up being a much longer video. Thank you if you stuck it out. Give me a sunshine down below emoji if you made it all the way to the end. Let me know which of these new releases you're excited for. Let me know if there's any that I missed. Commenting, liking, and sharing is all great for engagement here, so please do that if you've made it all the way to the end. And if you like what I do here, maybe you check out the Patreon. Like I said, you can join it for free to start. Check out some of the things that I have on there as freebies for people, and we'll see you next time. Bye.